She just graduated high school at 16 with high honors. She's so intelligent and beautiful and just such a kind and wonderful person.
The forest always keeps its secrets, especially at night, especially when music and adrenaline drown out the warnings it whispers. August 6th, 2022, Prosser Family Campground, a nighttime world lit not by stars, but by headlights, red plastic cups, and careless confidence. Cars roll in, one after another, engines cutting, doors slamming. You can almost feel the electricity in the air, a celebration of youth that carries a dangerous undertone. Students from Truckee, teens from Reno, college kids drifting in from all directions. 200, maybe 300 bodies filling the woods. Some call it a graduation send-off. Others call it the senior goodbye party. Whatever the name, the result is the same. Music pounding, teens cheering, a mass of people moving like a single organism, drinking, dancing, shouting. And amid that storm of noise and excitement, 16-year-old Kiely Rodni, blonde, bright, grounded in her music, smart enough to graduate early, young enough to believe that danger lives in stories, not in campgrounds filled with people she knows. Video from earlier in the day shows her smiling, celebrating, looking like any teenager on the edge of adulthood. But every story has a moment where the tone shifts. And Kiely's shift begins quietly, almost invisibly. A drink here, a cup there. The kind of creeping impairment that sneaks up the way fog rolls across water. By 11 p.m., she's stumbling slightly. By midnight, she's more intoxicated than anyone realizes. Friends say she seems overwhelmed by the crowd, tired, unsteady, disoriented. And then the first sign of danger. She gets separated, lost in a swarm of faces, some familiar, many not. Her phone buzzes, her mother checking in. Kiely replies hours earlier with a normal message, nothing alarming, nothing unusual. But at 12:33 a.m., she sends what will become her final text. I'm on my way. A promise, a reassurance, a message that tragically will outlive her. Then, darkness, silence, signal gone, phone dead, car gone, Kiely gone. Sunrise brings the cold truth. Parents wake up expecting a sleepy teenager to walk through the door. She doesn't. Her mother calls. Voicemail. Again. Voicemail. Hours pass. Panic grows teeth. Her family knows something is wrong. This wasn't who she was. She wasn't a runaway. She wasn't reckless in that way. She had told them she was coming home. She always came home. Her friends start talking, comparing stories, comparing messages. It was chaotic. We lost her in the crowd. She said she was driving. Driving. A single word that would soon become a haunting puzzle, because the car is missing too. A silver Honda CR-V. Something you could spot from a mile away, and yet it has vanished as completely as she has. Authorities arrive. They don't wait. Amber Alert-style urgency without the technical classification. They form search lines, interview teens, map last known locations. The area around Prosser Campground becomes the epicenter of a widening circle of fear. And that fear spills into the digital world. Social media posts everywhere. Missing. Urgent. Help find Kiely. The community mobilizes instantly. Hundreds of volunteers join the search. Helicopters take to the sky. Sonar boats move across the reservoir. Dogs canvass the woods. Flyers get stapled, taped, and handed out in every direction. Still nothing. Not a single trace. As if she drove into an alternate dimension instead of a forest campground. The reward fund spikes. $10,000, $25,000, $75,000. People want answers. People want justice. People want closure. And people, as they always do, begin to guess. Rumors multiply faster than evidence. In this case, evidence is nearly non-existent. And in that vacuum, theories thrive like weeds. Was it the guy wearing a hoodie someone remembered? Was she drugged? Did she fight with someone? Was there a jealous ex? A stalker? A stranger hiding in the trees? People start dissecting party footage frame by frame, slowing down every clip, zooming into background faces, trying to solve a case with screenshots instead of facts. A girl disappears. A car disappears. People assume the worst. Abduction, trafficking, murder. But fear has a strange way of creating villains where none exist. One young man is attacked online simply for being near her earlier that night. He gives interviews. He cries. He says he had nothing to do with it. But once the internet decides someone looks suspicious, the truth becomes irrelevant. And while the online world plays detective, the real search on the ground grows more desperate, more exhausting, more confusing. The question that haunts everyone is, how can a car vanish in a place surrounded by dirt roads, trails, and water? How can trained search teams with helicopters, drones, and sonar boats fail to find a vehicle the size of a small SUV? Day after day, the reservoir is scanned. Boats ripple across the water, dropping sonar pulses into the lake's depths. Divers descend with flashlights cutting through blackness. They find branches, rocks, silt, but no CRV. Teams scour roads, ravines, and tree lines. Hundreds of people walk shoulder to shoulder through forest brush. Helicopters fly grid patterns so often that locals recognize the sound. Over 19,000 personnel hours logged. 19,000! Nearly incomprehensible effort. And yet the biggest clue, the car, remains hidden in the very reservoir being searched. How does that happen? How do professionals miss something so large, so close? The answer is brutal in its simplicity. Water hides things, especially murky water, especially reservoirs with shifting depths, especially when the car rests upside down, half-silted, blending into the lake bed. The kind of place where sonar returns look like noise, where divers can't see more than a foot in front of their masks, where a vehicle can sit silently, just out of sight, waiting to be discovered, or waiting never to be discovered at all. Families start losing hope. Some believe she may not be in the area anymore. Others believe something darker happened. A few voices whisper, maybe she didn't want to be found. Wrong. All wrong. But people cling to theories when facts refuse to appear. August 21st, 2 weeks and 1 day after Kiely vanished. A new group arrives at Prosser Reservoir. Adventures with purpose. a volunteer dive team specializing in underwater searches. Not law enforcement, not government-funded, just people who refuse to give up on the missing. They launch a boat at 10:40 a.m. A calm morning, glass-like water, no wind, no noise, except their engine humming through the reservoir. They sweep across one section, then another. Their sonar screen flickers, shows shapes, then a form. One that looks too geometrical to be natural. A rectangle with edges softened by water and silt. The diver goes down. Cold envelops him instantly. Visibility is so poor he can barely see his own hand. But as his light drifts across the lake bed, he sees it. Metal. Silver paint dulled by sediment, tires pointing skyward. A car flipped upside down in the darkness. The CRV. Kiely's car. The vehicle the world had been looking for, resting just below the surface the entire time. He moves closer, shines his light into the broken window, and finds what the community had spent 16 days fearing. A body in the back seat, still, silent, preserved by cold water and tragic circumstance. He signals to the surface. The team rises. The world above will never be the same. Authorities swarm the shoreline. The air changes. Everything becomes slower, more deliberate, more respectful. The CRV is attached to cables. Tension fills the silence, and then it breaks the surface. Water cascades from doors and windows. Mud rolls out like ink. People watching bow their heads. Some cry. Some step back. Some simply stare at the grim truth emerging from the reservoir. Her license plate is visible. Her stickers, her belongings floating inside. The scene is devastating, final, undeniable. Her family is notified. They break, and the town breaks with them. Kiely is gone, and she has been here, mere feet from the shore, the entire time. Weeks later, the autopsy confirms what investigators suspected. No trauma, no assault, no foul play, no signs of anyone else involved. An accident, a tragic, heartbreaking accident. Blood alcohol levels high enough to impair judgment, cannabis in her system, a dark night, a wrong turn, and a car entering the water at a shallow, deceptive angle. She likely panicked, likely tried to escape, likely became disoriented as water rushed in. A horrifying process lasting only moments, but enough to end a life so young, so full of promise. The internet theories collapse, the villains people invented dissolve, the conspiracy videos suddenly fall silent. Reality, the quiet, unglamorous, devastating truth, is far more tragic than fiction. The reservoir returns to its stillness. The crowds leave. The flyers fade in the sun. The roads empty. But the story lingers. Because Kiely wasn't reckless, she wasn't irresponsible. She was a teenager in a confusing moment, a moment many people her age could have fallen into. And sometimes the most dangerous predator isn't a stranger in the woods. It's the split-second decision to drive when you shouldn't. Prosser Reservoir didn't hide a crime. It hid a tragedy, one that no theory could make more dramatic than the simple, painful truth. A girl with her whole life ahead, took a wrong turn into black water and never came back. Her story is a reminder not to scare, but to protect, to think, to pause, to choose safety over pride, and to understand that one moment, just one, can change everything for everyone who loves you. Kiely Rodni is gone, but her lesson stays. Her memory stays. Her impact stays. And tonight, her story becomes a warning echoing across the water for anyone who will listen. Hit the subscribe button for more mysterious true crime videos like this.